Thank you for joining us today, Linda.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no worries. Linda's a great friend of mine, so I'm glad to have her. So, what is your full name?
Linda Lovey.
Sweet. Are you sure?
I think so.
Good. What is your business name?
L. Lovey Wealth Management.
What is your profession?
I'm a financial advisor and registered investment advisor.
All right. Uh, Previous kinds of jobs.
I was worked for the book distributor for a long, long time, and then I was a bookkeeper for a while.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, today we're talking about Robo Advisors.
Yep.
So, I have to ask, what is a Robo Advisor?
So basically, a Robo Advisor is a platform that people can use for trading. They have auto rebalancing features. The nice thing about a Robo Advisor, you can do a lot of the transactions from home, and there's little or no human interaction.
What's a good comparison between a financial advisor and a robo advisor?
Well, I've been kind of thinking about that, and I think the easiest way to explain it would be is if you were to go to a restaurant. If you ordered just one entree, that would be like a robo advisor. But if you go to a restaurant and you have a person come up to you to take your order, you're getting the full-on menu, you're getting the plate of all the food, you're getting the plate to hold everything all together, and the utilities, the silverware, to pick and choose what you need as you like. So we can give a lot more information, a lot more history, do a lot more research, and help you pick what you should be picking to help meet the goals that you're trying to reach.
So, kind of like having your own personal chef versus um,
Going
a
online.
restaurant.
Online, you don't know, is this the best solution for you? You don't know what it's all the details inside of it. So you don't know how it fits into your whole picture. But for somebody who's a do-it-yourselfer and you know what you're trying to go for, then that's a great way to go. But for somebody who wants something a little more complex, that's where a financial advisor can come in and help make sure it fits into the puzzle like it should.
Got it. Wait, you're a financial advisor. Don't you have to give a spiel about like what's said here, his personal opinions or something?
Oh, yeah, there's different disclaimers that each person's scenario is different, and you should meet with a person to find out exactly what is the best for each person. The other disclaimer, while we're on disclaimers, is that if we talk about rebalancing, there are costs for rebalancing, and there can be tax consequences. So do be aware of that. Again, that's where a financial advisor can come in to help let you know of those items beforehand.
All right. So, why should? Well, I guess we kind of already covered why we should or shouldn't use a robo advisor. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, let's see. Just again, the robo advisor, you can do it 24/7 from your own home. You don't have to have the human interaction. Just be aware that you can't outperform benchmarks. You can't pick your own individual stocks and bonds and so on. But you do have at least that freedom and flexibility of doing it on your own time. With a financial advisor, you can get into the different kind of products you want based on what your different time horizons are for the different goals you're trying to accomplish. So I always try to tell people, if you're playing in the market a little bit, then don't put more than 10% of your total investable assets or whatever you feel like you can afford to lose, just because there's that more volatility and you don't have a person to help guide you through it. Now, if you're really well experienced, then that's not an issue. But the robo platform assumes that you have a certain amount of knowledge already. So that's where an advisor can kind of again help to direct you where you might not know what you don't know.
All right. What is the full capabilities of a financial advisor?
So with a financial advisor, they look at the whole picture. They're going to look at everything as far as like your cash reserves. Are you planning for college? What do you have set aside for retirement? What is your risk tolerance? And they'll educate you on what the difference of your risk tolerance can mean as far as a rate of return. They'll talk to you about, do you want all your money in the market, or do you want some of the money with guarantees? Do you want something to protect your assets? Do you want to make sure that you can leave a legacy? You want to make sure you're taking care of your loved ones if something should happen to you. You want to make sure that you have an income should you become disabled? I mean, it's the whole big picture that fits together. And if if you're working with a fiduciary, we have to do what is and advise you in the capacity that's best for you, even if that means selling business away from ourselves. So we're doing what's right for you instead of what is better for our pocketbook, basically. So make sure you look for a fiduciary.
When you say legacy, I mean, other than, good drinks and passing on, you're talking about like passing on my wealth to my children, right?
Exactly. That's
Okay.
one of the examples.
I
Yep.
just wanted to double check that that's what that meant.
Yeah, one of the first things I would always suggest people to do, and in case a person isn't aware of this, very first step of financial planning is to have your cash reserve set aside. So you want to do things in order because it is a process. It's a lifelong process, basically. And if you come in and do a consultation, then go over the whole scenario and figure out where you're at, what you might want to do, where you've done really well at, and figure out what the next steps are.
Yeah, I've heard you and other people refer to it as buckets of life, where you're doing like, you want to make sure one bucket's full before the next.
Yep, that's a good way to put it.
And then like you always have an emergency fund, and and I know you're not legally supposed to say stuff, so I'm not going to ask you your opinion, but like you always want to have a cash reserve for just in case there's an emergency.
Correct.
And then you want to have, if you can, not take out a credit card to pay for everything.
Correct.
You want to avoid that kind of stuff. You want to take care of yourself first.
Yep. Yeah, in fact, I like to tell people to set up a second savings account just to use for the different things they need, so they can basically borrow from themselves interest-free instead of putting on a credit card and having to give that money away on interest.
How can a financial advisor deal with a crisis or an unusual circumstance that a robo advisor can't?
I'm glad you asked that. When you meet with a financial advisor, they can look at everything you have in place, see what your current scenario is, what the crisis is, and help guide you to making the best choices to work through that crisis. A robo advisor does not give any of that kind of advice. You're basically working with a computer with very little or no human interaction.
So, like, one of the sites that I was looking at, it seemed that it was just cookie cutter everything, and you put your credit card in, and they're telling you where to put it. So that's basically what we're trying to avoid by bringing them to locals like yourself.
I thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Definitely. If someone needs to get a hold of you, how would they do it?
Okay, so my number is 775-544-4714. My website, real easy, www.llovie.com. And you can go on there, check out a bunch of different stories, see different resources, and reach out and contact me through there.